The world is divided. People have different beliefs, different values, and different ways of living. But we all want fairness and security. The question is, can we achieve it? Or are we doomed to conflict and chaos? The Bible gives us guidance on how to navigate these differences in 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 14 and 15. Paul writes, "We urge you, brethren, admonish the unruly, encourage the faint-hearted, help the weak, be patient with everyone. See that no one repays another with evil for evil, but always seek after that which is good for one another and for all people." That passage provides a blueprint for how we interact with 5 types of people in the world today. Understanding them is the key to achieving fairness, security, and peace without fear. But first, we have to ask ourselves, which one are you? The first group of people are genuine believers in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These are people who are fully devoted to the God of the Bible. They seek to live by his laws and uphold his justice. They believe fairness comes from God's righteousness, not from human compromise. Their role in society is critical. They are the moral compass, pointing people toward justice, mercy, and truth. But their challenge? Living in a world that often rejects the very foundation of their faith. The second type of people in the world are those who believe in the God of the Bible and in Jesus Christ as his Son. This group acknowledges the authority of the God of Abraham, but they also believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, the Son of God, and the King of all humanity. They are called to lead with grace, truth, and love, showing that justice is not just about laws, but also about mercy. But even among them, there are struggles. How do you stand firm in your faith while still living peaceably with those who do not share in it? The third type of people are those who believe in other gods or goddesses. Not everyone believes in the God of the Bible. Some follow different spiritual paths. Some worship other deities, and some mix multiple beliefs together. Governance in a world with such spiritual diversity is difficult. How do we ensure fairness without forcing one belief system over another? The Bible calls us to patience and wisdom in how we approach these differences. Type number 4, those who do not believe in any God. There are those who don't believe in God at all. They see life purely through reason, science, and the material world. They may still value justice and morality, but they define them differently. Can fairness exist without a divine standard, or does morality collapse when it's left to human interpretation? This is a question we must wrestle with as we strive to live together in peace. Type number 5, the lawless and self-referential. Finally, there are those who live by no law except their own. They do what is right in their own eyes, caring little for the consequences to others. This is where the true danger lies. A society that tolerates lawlessness cannot stand. And yet the Bible tells us to admonish the unruly, not with hatred, but with wisdom and firm justice. So how do you govern fairly when these 5 groups see the world so differently? How do you create a society where justice is upheld and people feel secure? First of all, we have to understand that fairness means different things to different people. If you're a businessman and an entrepreneur, fairness might mean, let me build my business as far as I can without any interference. On the other hand, if you're just an ordinary common worker, fairness to you might mean making sure that I always have enough to meet my needs. Second, justice must be based on truth, not just majority opinion. Have you ever heard the expression, the tyranny of the mob? If you have, let me know in the comments below. The problem with just governing by majority opinion or majority rule, means that minorities can often be crushed and oppressed. Patience and wisdom are required to maintain peace. Just before I started recording this video, I read where Elon Musk had put up a tweet and then removed it soon after, stating that the dictators of the previous century were not responsible for the deaths of all the people that were killed, but instead it was their public service workers who were responsible. Of course, the response to this tweet was understandable outrage, and I would submit that posting the tweet was not wise. Just as it is important to exercise wisdom in everything we say and do, it's also necessary to have patience with those who make mistakes. Although technically speaking, the tweet might have been true, it was not wise, and we always live by the principle the buck stops here. We hold leaders responsible for the actions of their subordinates. So yes, Elon's tweet was dumb and stupid, but we have to be patient with people and be diligent, but don't overreact when they make a mistake. That's what it means to exercise patience and wisdom in our governance of people. That's why Paul reminds us in 1 Thessalonians 5:15, see that no one repays another with evil for evil. The moment we govern based on revenge rather than justice, we lose control. The Bible gives us a roadmap for fairness and security. Admonish the unruly or the undisciplined. We do this by setting clear boundaries for those who reject authority. Second, we encourage the faint-hearted. We protect the weak without enabling their fear. And that's what those in power should do, whether they're on the left or the right, whether they're conservative or liberal. Don't just boast that I'm large and in charge. Think about the weak and don't enable their fears by doing what you want to do just because you can, without thoroughly explaining what you're doing and why you're doing it. And like some conservative talk show hosts like to say, bring the receipts and be sure to help the weak. Ensure that justice is not reserved only for the powerful. I remember in my lifetime hearing the expression, all men are created equal, but some are more equal than others. And often people laugh and joke about that. But it's not funny. And it's very important that we be patient with everyone. Anger and impulsiveness lead to destruction. And finally, seek good for all people. Governance should always be for the greater good, not just the desires of the few. This is how we create a world where fairness is real, security is strong, and fear does not rule our hearts. Now, it's all well and good to understand who these 5 types of people are, but how does this affect you personally? Are you striving for justice based on God's law, or merely on your own opinions or personal preferences? We need to have a standard, something greater than ourselves that we can test our opinions and principles on to see whether or not they just meet our needs or if they're for the good of all people. Let me ask you a question. Which of these 5 groups do you belong to? Are you balancing grace and truth in your leadership and relationship with others? Or are you just going with how you feel at the moment and getting angry with those who don't line up with your opinions and beliefs? Are you searching for fairness in a world that often feels unjust? Or are you primarily concerned with just getting what you want and everybody else can take care of themselves? Your role in society matters, and the way you respond to the world around you will determine whether you bring peace or division, justice or chaos, security or fear. We all want fairness. We all want security. The Bible gives us the tools to make that happen, but it requires wisdom, patience, and a willingness to seek good for all people. So, what do you think? Which group do you belong to? And what do you believe is the biggest challenge in governing fairly? Let me know in the comments below. If this video challenged you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more biblical insights on justice, leadership, and truth. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Until next time, keep seeking truth, keep pursuing justice, and remember, fairness begins with how we treat one another.